So I guess I've talked about, again, a definition of social entrepreneurship. We've discussed also some of the issues social entrepreneurs face in scaling, and I talked mainly about so increasing the impact of their innovations, and I've talked mainly about kind of social entrepreneurship in an international context. So you think about it a lot in the context of developing countries, emerging economies like India or Indian subcontinent, in Africa, Latin America. But there's a huge, of course, social entrepreneurship movement in Western countries, in the United States in particular. So we can think about things like the charter school movement, for instance. We have a whole range of community-based social enterprises that are forming. So students who are interested in pursuing social entrepreneurship, I think there are a lot of models that they can follow, right? Regardless of whether they want to go on an international kind of social entrepreneurship track or a domestic U.S. based social entrepreneurship. But I think fundamentally, the issue comes back to kind of developing a model based around what social impact you're trying to make. I think that's one of the first things to think about. So where do you want to make an impact? And that has to be relatively clear. And then kind of working back from that and saying, okay, how do I create a system, a business model that can sustain the social impact I want to make? Now, again, people think, oh, well, social entrepreneurship, does it have to be a for-profit organization? Is it a nonprofit? I think for me, I tend to be agnostic with respect to the form of the organization that you operate. So for-profit is the best form for the kind of work that you're doing, then choose a for-profit form. A nonprofit form is another way to go. Now, increasingly, we're seeing hybrid forms actually emerging as a legal form, where again you can have some earned income component to a socially oriented business. So I think the key is, again, choosing the kind of impact you want to make, thinking about how you're going to build a business model, how you're going to support that impact, and then once you've gotten that, thinking about the form of the organization you want to take, and then those decisions will kind of drive what you end up doing, who you develop as stakeholders, and who you need to stay engaged with, right? So again, it's a really exciting field. There are many resources available in New York City for sure. There's so many social enterprises operating, so many groups that are funding social enterprises. It's a whole network of resources available that people may want to pursue.